Hello, viewers. Welcome to Football Discussion Daily. I'm your host, CGO. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms. Thank you very much. On the show, we'll be talking about the round of 16 games that were played on Tuesday, July 7th, 2026, at the ongoing FIFA World Cup. The Argentina team, the defending champion of the FIFA World Cup. He came down from 2 goals down and they were able to get victory against Egypt. 3-2 was what the scoreline was. And then the second game, the Swiss, they were able to get a win against Colombia after the game ended goalless in full time and also extra time. They went into penalty shootout, and it was the Swiss team that came out victorious in that game. In the match between Argentina and Egypt, the Egyptians were able to open scoring in the 15th minute of the game. Marwan Achia was able to deliver a brilliant cross to Yasser Ibrahim, who nodded home the ball into the net. Emiliano Martinez couldn't stop the ball, and the Egyptians went 1 goal up. In the 21st minute, the Argentines were given a penalty, which Lionel Messi lost. But credit must go to the goalkeeper of Egypt, Mustafa Shobai, who made a very brilliant save to stop Lionel Messi from scoring that goal. And in the 58th minute of that encounter, the Egyptians got a goal which was disallowed. VAR called for a review, and the referee disallowed the goal. That goal was scored by Mustafa Ziko Abderraouf. He scored that goal. They made a very quick counter attack. Like we said, the Argentines, because they play high line, their back get exposed. The Egyptians were able to exploit that. They got that goal, but it was disallowed. The referee claimed that Lisandro Martinez was fouled during the process that led to that goal. In the 67th minute, Egyptians were able to start another counter attack, which was orchestrated by Mohamed Salah and Hassim Hassan. They did that, and they were able to get a goal again through Zico. Zico got that goal, beautiful goal he scored, and it was 2-0 for the Egyptian side. And in the 79th minute, the Argentines got a goal. Lionel Messi made a beautiful cross that their center back, Cristian Romero, was able to nod home, and it was 2-1. In the 83rd minute, which was 4 minutes later, the Egyptians, they failed to make clearance in their box, and the ball dropped to Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi was able to slam home the ball into the net, which means he now has 8 goals at this competition, and Messi has become the first player in the history of the World Cup to score in 9 consecutive FIFA World Cup matches. In Qatar, in the round of 16, he scored a goal against Australia, and then against Netherlands in the quarterfinals, he scored a goal. In the semi-finals, he scored a goal against Croatia. In the final, he scored 2 goals against France. And then coming into the 2026 World Cup, in their game against Algeria, scored 3 goals. That is an hat-trick. And then against Austria, he scored 2 goals. Against Jordan, he scored a goal against Jordan to surpass the record of Just Fountain in 1958 and Brazil's Jairzinho in 1970. Lionel Messi broke that record when he scored a goal against Jordan, because that was the 7th consecutive game he scored a goal. And then against Cape Verde, he scored in the 8th consecutive game. And then against Egypt, he scored a goal again, making it the 9th consecutive time. So that was how Lionel Messi was able to achieve this great record he has made at the FIFA World Cup. And he now has 21 goals in total at the World Cup. And currently, he is topping the goal scoring chart at this 2026 FIFA World Cup. He now has 8 goals in this competition, being followed closely by Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland, who both have 7 goals. And then in the 92nd minute of the game, Enzo Fernandez got the victory for the Argentines. A beautiful cross from Lautaro Martinez was converted by Enzo Fernandez. He nodded it to the top corner of the net, and it was a 3-2 victory for the Argentine. In as much as some of the decisions made by the referee in this game went against the Egyptian team, I think the Egyptian team also made some kind of mistake in this game, because if you are leading by 2-0 and 11 minutes to 90 minutes, you bottle those two goals. It's something that is very, very painful. They also need to take responsibility. We knew the referee made some bad calls against the Egyptian side, which we've normally seen in football. Most times, referees normally favor the teams seen as the big teams. Even at the club level, we see that happen. A lot of decisions normally go in favor of the big side. But when you are leading by 2-0 and you are not able to manage the situation to defend the two goals in order to get victory, it's something that is very, very sad. We saw this happen when Senegal played against Belgium. Senegal were leading 2-0, and minutes to the end of to 90 minutes, they bottled those two goals. The Belgians were able to get the equalizer in the 86th minute through Romelu Lukaku. They scored their first goal in the 86th minute. Yuri Telemann got the second goal for them in the 89th minute. And then in extra time, I think 125th minute of that game, Yuri Telemann scored a penalty. The Senegalese were protesting about the penalty. But how come you allow them to get into the game? So decisions like that will always come up to favor the big teams. And that was what happened against the Senegalese. We saw that happen to the Egyptian team. The leading 2-0, if they are defended very well, if they had maintained their composure, they've maintained their concentration in this game. If they had come up with the tactics of trying to slow down the tempo of the game, trying to frustrate as they did in the earlier part of the game, probably they would have succeeded in getting a win in that game. We saw the way the English team were able to manage the game against Mexico, even when they were one man down. We saw the kind of tactical changes that Thomas Tuchel made, and the English side were able to hold on, and they won that game by 3-2. So African teams must also learn how to be very smart whenever they play against teams like this, because you must understand that when it comes to officiating will most likely favor the big side. So I think the Egyptian team didn't manage the game very well. And it's very sad that they blew up the 2-goal lead they had, because they had just few minutes to end that game. If they had done the right thing, I'm sure they would have probably caused an upset in this encounter. Very sad one for the Pharaohs of Egypt that they crashed out of the competition. For the game between Switzerland and Colombia, I think it was more like an even game, though the Colombians were able to create more chances compared to the Swiss side, especially in the extra time of the game. Campas had a very clear scoring opportunity that if he was composed enough, he would have scored and probably gotten a victory for Colombia, but he lost that opportunity. He had a very good game in this match, played very well, but that was an opportunity that he would have converted and would have gotten a win for the Colombians, but they lost the opportunity, and the game went into penalty. The Swiss were able to make history, because this is the first time Switzerland has won a penalty shootout. In 2006, they went into penalty shootout against Ukraine. They lost at that competition. It was a round of 16 game, and it ended 3-0 in favor of Ukraine when they went into penalty shootout. So this is the first time ever that Switzerland is winning the penalty shootout. And for the Colombians, very sad one for them, because this is the second time they are losing in a penalty shootout in 2018 World Cup when they played the round of 16 game against England. After full time and extra time, it ended 1-1 and they went into penalty shootout. They lost 4-3. Also lost by the same 4-3 against Switzerland in this game. So what it means is that the Colombians have lost penalty shootout 2 times at the FIFA World Cup, which is a very sad one for them. This particular Colombia side really played so well, very impressive at this competition. I was hoping that they'll be able to go far like they did in 2014. In 2014 World Cup, they were able to get to the quarterfinals, which is their best ever in the history of the country. They were eliminated in the quarterfinals in 2014 World Cup, which was hosted by Brazil. They lost 2-1 in a very tough game. Brazilians knocked them out. So I was hoping they would get to the quarterfinals and maybe possibly maybe get to the semifinals. But unfortunately, they lost out to the Swiss team. And for Switzerland, they have getting to their first quarterfinals since 1954. The last time they got to the quarterfinals was in 1954. And that has been their best performance in their World Cup history. The first time they got to the quarterfinals at the World Cup was in 1934, which was hosted by Italy. They lost out in the quarterfinals to Czech. They call them Czechoslovakia, and now they call it Czechia or Czech Republic. They lost to Czechoslovakia in the quarterfinals in 1934, 3-2. And the 1938 World Cup, which was hosted by France, they also got to the quarterfinals and they were eliminated by Hungary, 2-0. And then 1954, they also got to the quarterfinals. They were the host nation at that World Cup. And they got to the quarterfinals. And the interesting thing that happened in that game was that they went 3-0 up and they blew it and lost 7-5 against the Austrian team. This time around, they've got to the quarterfinals. They'll be playing Argentina, and they will be hoping they can at least go a step further when it comes to the achievement at the World Cup. So, if they are able to get victory against Argentina, that means this will be the first time they'll be getting to the semifinals of the FIFA World Cup. We'll wait to see what happens when they play against Argentina. We'll do a preview of that game before the match day. So look out for that on our podcast. We'll surely do a preview on the game between Argentina and Switzerland. Please, if you have your thoughts regarding the games that were played, Argentina's 3-2 victory against Egypt. What do you think about officiating? Do you think the officials got their decision right, or they really the decisions that worked against the Egyptians and worked in favor of the Argentine? And then what are your thoughts regarding Switzerland winning their first penalty shootout at the World Cup and then getting to the quarterfinals for the first time since 1954? And then your thoughts on Colombia crashing out. Please would like you to share your thoughts on the comment section, and please endeavor to share our videos so that others can also get to watch. Thank you very much for watching and do have a wonderful time. Bye for now.